greetings in the name of Jesus. Glad to be back with you today. I'm excited. I got a man here today. I want you to hear his story. How God delivered him. We want to talk about alcohol because alcohol, I don't guess they consider it to be a drug, but it's a drug.
It definitely is, yes.
It's a drug. And I was looking at some stats on my way out here, and 178,000 people die from alcohol in the United States, over 2.3 billion from alcohol. And John just got a wonderful story here. We believe in miracles. We have these testimonies on, and just to see the hand of God moving the way it moves. And the first time you told me your testimony, I mean, it just really sunk in. And I think the world should hear, especially about the angels, because Scripture said His angels encamp all around us. And a lot of people don't believe that they exist, but they're real.
They definitely are. They definitely are.
But tell me one thing, how did you first start, got addicted to alcohol? Because most people, they just, I drink casually.
Well, it always starts off casually, It's a social drink, and then it's a little bit more, and then it's a little bit more. But, things happen to people in life, and they get discouraged, and they get disillusioned, and things happen, and you just give up on you give up on everything and everybody sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it kind of started like that, you have a casual drink with your friends or something, and then the next thing you know, it's a little bit more, and then the next thing you know, it's a whole lot more, and then the next thing you know, it's got you and you can't get rid of it.
But one thing we hear to also say though, because once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, we don't believe in that.
I don't believe that, and I also don't believe that alcoholism is a disease. It's a character flaw. Now, that's my personal opinion.
Yes, outstanding. But tell us what happened to you.
Well, it just got greater and greater and greater. So I was drinking every day, and now I was what you call a functional alcoholic. There are some people that just, they lay around drunk, they won't work, they won't do anything, that it's a bum or something, But I would say that probably 90% of the alcoholics are functional alcoholics, and it means this: they work every day, they pay their bills, they meet their responsibilities, but they're going to drink every day. And if they can get drunk every day, they're going to do that, but they're going to drink every day. I got up in the morning drinking. I went to bed drinking. I just couldn't see life without it. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't see how you could have any fun. You couldn't go anywhere and do anything without that, because it becomes part of you. Yeah. It absorbs you, and it controls your life and your thought process. Mm-hmm. It was bringing me down, and it was detrimental to my family, because it just, you just can't have a family life and be like that and everything be happy.
Let me ask you,
and you bring so many problems on yourself.
Had you ever been introduced to God before you started drinking?
When I was about 21 years old, I got saved, and I lived a very extremely godly life. I was just fanatical about it for about 3 or 4 years, but things happened, and I got discouraged and disillusioned, and so I just kind of went back to the world, and then I just started drinking and the things that young people do, and then it just got out of hand.
Yes. Well, when did rock bottom hit?
Well,
sometimes rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go.
Well, I've been through some very, very dark places, financially, spiritually, in every other way, because of alcohol. So I just got to the place to where I just couldn't do that anymore. You've got to get to the place where you don't like yourself anymore.
Right.
Now, if nobody else don't like you, then you probably don't like yourself either. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, I was at work one day, and somebody said something to me detrimental to me about me. I didn't like it. So I told them how sorry and low down they was. I mean, I told them straight out, explicitly, what kind of dog they was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I walked away from there, and I hadn't gotten very far till it's like I walked up in front of a great old big mirror, and I saw myself.
Yes.
And I said, you know something? I'm just as sorry as they are. I need to do something about myself. So I said, I'm gonna quit drinking. And looking back on it, kind of like I used to hear my brother-in-law say, he said, it's easy to quit smoking. I've done it a lot of times. So I said, I'm gonna quit drinking. So I went about 3 months, and I didn't take a drink, but I'm gonna tell you something. Every morning it was a battle, and it was a struggle all day long. You'd have to tell yourself, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And it was a battle. And I went about 3 months, and I went by a liquor store one day, so it seemed like my car just turned in there, jokingly, you know what I mean? But anyway, I went in there, so I started back, and I think I was worse than I used to be. I went on another couple of years, and it just consumed me, and so I got to where I'd go out under my carport at night, way in the morning with a bad hangover, and I'd sit there and I'd pray, and I'd say, Lord, you got to help me with this because I can't help myself. I can't stop. I done tried, and I know I can't do it. Couldn't do it. That's addiction, so it got you, and you can't get rid of it. I was coming home from work one day, and that particular day I wasn't drinking for some reason, which was unusual. And I was fiddling with the radio, and I heard a preacher on the radio saying that he was involved in a revival down in Macon, Georgia. He had a big tent down there, and he said, if you need anything from God, if you need healing, salvation, deliverance, whatever you need to come to this revival. God's going to do something for you. I got home and wasn't nobody there. My wife was working, but she hadn't come in yet. So I went in my bedroom and I got down and I prayed. I said, Lord, if this is really you that's inspiring me to go to this meeting, because I know how a lot of people are. They get things in their mind. They think God's telling them this or that or something. It's not always like that. I've seen so much of that. I said, I don't want that. I said, if this is really you inspiring me to go to this meeting, when I get there, now here's the miracle part of it. When I get there, I want you to send that man of God to me, and I want him to tell me everything about my past life that discouraged me and disappointed me and hurt me and got me going off on the wrong path. And I said, God, I want you to have that man pray for me, and Lord, I want you to deliver me from alcohol because I can't get rid of it. And I said, I know you're going to do this. When I got up from there was no doubt in my mind that was going to. It's like faith just dropped from some place into my heart. I heard a preacher say one time, sometimes faith just drops in your heart. You don't know where it comes from.
Right.
It just happened. But I knew that was going to happen. So I got in my car. It was getting kind of late, and it must have been about 5 o'clock, and I headed down to Macon. When I got there, the tent was at the fairgrounds. There was a big tent. Could seat about 1,500, 2,000 people probably. It was a big place. And that man was up on that platform praying for God to do something in that service, for God to heal somebody, deliver somebody, save somebody. And I never heard nobody pray like that in my life, never to this day, never before, never again. It wasn't that Mickey Mouse stuff you hear sometimes. This man was pouring his life out to God, his soul out to God. And when he prayed a while, then he went back behind the platform because it wasn't quite time for the service to start. So when the service started, I was probably, the service hadn't been started, but about maybe 5-8 minutes or something like that. And I was at least 150 feet from that man. And he just stopped and said, you're an alcoholic. Come here, man, I got to pray for you. And I've done this number. I knew he was talking to me, but I've done this number anyway, you know. He said, yeah, I'm talking to you. Tell me what color my shirt was. And there was a little fellow with him, and he had a bottle of anointing oil about that big around, about that tall. That's how much praying he was doing. He said, he sent that man down to get me. And when I got up there, he started talking to me in the spirit. It wasn't like you and I are talking now.
Right.
It was like an angel talking to
Right.
me. He told me explicitly everything that had happened to me that had, disillusioned me, disappointed me with people and so forth, and just got me to the situation I was in. Then he said, you're an alcoholic, and God's going to break this yoke of alcohol off your neck right now, and you're going to be free. That man prayed for me, and when he finished, guess what? I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel anything warm. I didn't feel lightning strike. I didn't feel nothing, but something was missing. It's like like if you went and didn't wear your shoes to church or something, but something was gone. I knew something was gone. And I'm gonna tell you something, that was September the 7th, 1988. That's what, 37 years ago now? I was free then, and I'm free now. And I wanna tell you this, well, alcohol has never crossed my mind again.
People think once prayer is offered, you gotta feel this halo. They think all of that got
I
to
used to
happen
think that
you.
too. I used to think something had to happen.
But you just got to trust God.
Yeah.
And you'll walk into the manifestation.
I knew it was gonna happen when I left.
Yes.
And it happened explicitly like I prayed and asked for. But that was 37 years ago, and the battle was over. And I tell people this jokingly sometimes when I tell my testimony. I said, I do not miss being a pilot for Delta Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me like, I didn't know you was ever a pilot for Delta Airlines. I said, that's right, I wasn't. That's why I don't miss it. You can't miss something that you never had or done. And so I don't miss something. It's like I never had it. It's like I never had a drink in my life. The battle and struggle was over. You can't miss something you never had.
I want you to tell the story because of when the police stopped you.
Yeah.
Because we talk about angels here all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes when you're talking to people that's kind of new people that's new to this, and they don't understand that the presence and the glory of God and the angelic presence, and sometimes how an angel will just, he'll show up as a policeman. He showed up as an ordinary person. Tell us how you got stopped that night.
One came to Gideon, you know?
Yes.
Sat down and ate with him.
Yeah.
Thought he was a man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when they came to Abraham on the way down to Sodom and Gomorrah, they sat down and ate lunch with him, okay?
Yes.
So they don't come, a lot of people think an angel comes to you with a white robe on and wings and flying around. No, they're gonna look like a man
Yeah.
or a woman.
Oh,
They're gonna look like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was drinking pretty heavy, and I was coming to an intersection. There's a lot of traffic there. And as I went, and I was drunk, and I didn't have insurance on my vehicle because my finances done got down that low, you know, to where I was living hand to mouth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I was living we were living hard. It was on account of my sorry stuff. We was living hard. But anyway, when I went into that intersection, as soon as I made that curve to make that turn, bam, there was a collision. And this little old lady got out of her car and she said, boy, you done tore my car up, you're gonna pay for my automobile. Well, I said, lady, I tell you what, if you'll just pull over here and give me a chance, I'll take care of your damage and everything. No, we're not doing that, we're calling the police, she said. So I tried to reason with her again. I said, look, let's just get out of this intersection. We got traffic blocked up everywhere. I mean, it was rush hour. About 5 in the afternoon, the traffic was backing up bad. But no, she wouldn't agree to pull over and let me talk with her about it. She said, no, we need to call the police because, I said, look, lady, I wish you wouldn't do that. I'm drunk. I don't even have insurance on this vehicle. She told me one more time, no, we're calling the police. Before she could get it out of her mouth, they drove up.
Police.
Now, nobody called. They just happened to be coming by, evidently.
Yeah.
And it was 2 of them in a car. Then it was a city police car. They pulled up, and so the guy on the passenger side, he rolled the window down and said, what's going on here, son? I said, well, we actually had an accident here, and I don't really know what happened, because to this day, I don't know what happened. I really don't. And I said, I told this lady if she would pull over and let me talk with her, I'd take care of her damages and all. You know, I didn't know it was her fault or mine. I had no idea what happened. I just wanted out of that situation. And she said, no, sir. I told that cop straight out, no, sir, he's already told me he's drunk and don't even have insurance on the vehicle. That cop looked at me and he said, son, just take care of it. Rolled the window up and drove off. Drove off. So we went on down the street and got to a place where we could pull over. I give that lady my name, my address, my phone number, my driver's license number, and everything. That woman ain't called me yet.
And,
woman ain't called me yet.
Yeah, and you know it had to be an angel. And so
I was too stupid to realize it then.
You had been saved, you knew about God. And people don't understand. You out there going through all of this stuff. You're not thinking about it, but because of the love of God and because of prayers that's been put out there, His mercy and His grace was there.
Through all the years of
Through
that
all-
hard time,
all of
the
that.
Lord was with me.
He was with you.
He got me out of a lot of ditches.
Yeah.
It'd take me all night to tell you
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
But you know something? I don't know why he loves you,
Mhm.
and I certainly don't know why he loves me, but I know it's an unconditional love that's unexplainable, and he does, that's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not alone. I am not alone. And so since that time, I've lived for God, and God has brought me through so much. And when you look back on it, like we was talking earlier today, you know that when you've done everything you can do to change some kind of situation, and you've exhausted everything you can possibly do, you can't do it. And then when it happens, and you know where it come from, you know
Yes.
you didn't do it, your friends didn't help you, nobody God done it. And I've had so much of that in my life. So much of that in my life. I hope that somewhere, sometime, whoever sees this or hears this, and you're in some kind of condition or situation where you can't see any way out, you can't see any light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you there is a way out, and it's trust and faith in Jesus Christ.
I thank God for John being here. God has blessed him. I don't think there's nobody's house like him. I can go and sit on his porch, and we can just live there a little bit. He got this sanctified porch. But John, I thank you for coming out, and I pray that someone out there that heard this, I know it'll be a blessing to you. God bless you. We'll see you next time.